All right, so page 222 is in the chapter of clergymen. And I'm just going to read this stuff to you, okay? Bishop Marley had a good deal of the humor of Swift. Once he ordered the coachman to fetch some water from the well. For this, the coachman objected that his business was to drive, not to run on errands. Well then, said Marley, bring out the coach and set the pitcher inside and drive to the well, a service which was several times repeated to the great amusement of the village. Reverend Mr. Dye of Fairfield County, Connecticut, was traveling through western Ohio, mounted on a tall, lank, raw-boned animal. A good frame to build a horse on. When he came to the junction of two roads, and not knowing which might lead him to his destination, asked a ragged, dirty-looking urchin which of the two roads would lead to W. The boy in the rough and uncouth manner said, "Who are you, old fellow?" Mr. Dye, being greatly astonished at the child's incivility, replied, "My son, I am a follower of the Lord." "A follower of the Lord, eh? Well, it makes mighty little difference which road you take. You'll never catch him with that horse." A young clergyman, having, in hearing of Dr. Parr, stated that he would believe nothing he could not understand. The doctor said, "Then, young man, your creed will be the shortest of any man's I know." Robert Hall was sometimes visited by a brother minister, a worthy little man of admirable disposition, but every self-conceited who would intrude himself on Mr. Hall's company. Robert Hall was sometimes visited by a brother minister, a worthy little man of amicable disposition, but very self-conceited, who would intrude himself on Mr. Hall's company, greatly to his annoyance, and then boast to others of his intimacy with that able divine. One Saturday morning, he begged permission to see Mr. Hall for a moment or two on important business. Having gained access to his study, the little man began to make an apology for the intrusion and to say that being in town, he thought he must call and see his friend Hall, etc. Mr. Hall stopped him in the midst of his harangue and said, "My dear friend, do not apologize. I am glad to see you. Indeed, I was never more delighted to see a man in my life. Why, sir, I had Sir James Mackintosh here till 3 o'clock this morning, and his conversation, sir, has absolutely carried me away to the third heavens. Why, sir, it is more than I can sustain. I'm glad you have come, for you will soon compel me to feel that I am yet among the creeping things of the earth."